let's spend some time understanding how our visual editor works and how you can make the most out of it. The first thing I call out is, before you start with the WYSIWYG version of it, you might find that this custom CSS and custom JS gives you all that you need. Some users, for example, create a custom section in their CMS of choice, for example WordPress, and all they need to do is add in some logic that will display this section when the variant runs. And you might just say section A display block important, supposing that you hid this section by default, right? I think you get the point. And of course, any of these custom logic, even if you need to write it in JavaScript, you'll be able to do so. But the most used option tends to be just using the WYSIWYG version, where you click and modify as you need. For basic copy changes, you can just stick with this text area. You will be testing out versions of an H1, of a call to action. That's always the better place to start for landing page optimization. And you can just go ahead and use this text area. We provide a quick way of generating variants for you with a pre-made prompt we have that tries to optimize for conversion rate. So if we give it a try, you'll see it'll generate for us a couple different options. Now, another way to perform changes, if you want to get your hands more dirty, is through the HTML editing. So if you click Edit HTML on the section you selected, you'll be able to tweak the HTML, the markup of that specific section. This is not showing the markup of the entire page. And for basic style changes, you can head down. Right now I selected the button and start performing changes to the element. One cool thing to note is that as you click around, you can see the selector we are targeting on that selection up here. If you want to provide your own selector manually, you can always dump it here and we'll try target that element if you provided a valid selector, of course. Something very useful as well is this hide element functionality. Of course, again, nothing's stopping you from hiding the element through custom CSS. But if you're not that tech savvy, you might find this hide element button useful. Now, let's say you want to perform more intricate changes. I think this AI-powered modification functionality comes very much in handy. And if you're lazy, you might find yourself using this for the more simpler changes as well. For example, I might say, make these icons spin to call users' attention more. And there we go. I might also say, let's give these 3 cards a subtle light blue gradient color to each of them. There we go. And you can play around. Perhaps you select a specific area and you want to try out a new layout and leave the changes up to the LLM. And you can say, rearrange these elements to try improve my conversion rates. You can test the limits with this tool. It's still kind of in beta, but it's already pretty decent at assisting you with markup changes. It's important to note that the context this will have as you make changes is the context that is inside the selected area. So if you expect changes, for example, to take place in this description and you only selected the title on top, you are not going to get good results. Here you have a list of the made modifications and you can opt out of them clicking the X icon. I'm pretty happy with the current state of this variant, so we will save and finish. And that's pretty much it regarding our visual editor and variant creation. Don't forget to set the traffic allocation you wish to see once you launch. And that's pretty much it.